I love sweet God bacon. Love drinks until I don't you grab it. This video is brought to you by T-Blocks. Enjoy the content now, but stay for the shilling later. Welcome to Lobster Magnet Friends. I'm here with my buddy Goro.
Hey.
And we are here to talk about Inuyashiki, which is quickly reaching its huge epic climax. So you had some issues with this episode.
I did. And the thing was, the previous episode, I thought there were going to be way more, like, consequences, like, soon after, I forget his name again.
Shishigami?
Yeah. After Shishigami, like, took out the whole Japanese police force single-handedly, I thought, like, you know, we're going to go into, like, a state of emergency. People were going to be, like, shut in their homes. Like, the National Guard would come in. But nothing like that happened. Everyone, like, went to school, like, casually. Everyone went to their jobs casually. Like, nothing happened. And that really, really pissed me off.
Hey, things did happen. Eventually they had a scene where, like, people were surprised that they were doing school and there were less people out in the streets and more people were afraid and they had, like, cops everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. That is, but not even bringing, like, the, you know, the National Guard or whatever, the Japanese like,
Self-Defense Force?
Yeah, the SDF, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
SDF.
Like, even in, like, the Gantz manga, this guy's previous manga, like, the SDF came in, like, you know, at reasonably, like, logical times of, like, you know, a whole army of monsters is attacking, you know, the city. The SDF is gonna come in and do something about this. Like,
well, true.
There's this kid
remember, at this point, he's like covertly murdering people. Like, he's like shooting people through their cell phones. So, you know, nobody knows where he is, and he's just hanging out in a rooftop, and no one can find him.
The whole city should be on lockdown. Like, I don't know. There should have been, like, a bigger reaction from, like, law enforcement of some kind. Whether that was, like, the SDF or, you know, maybe an international force should have, like...
So you thought there should be some military men all around here just looking for Shishigami? There should be, like, the, you know, Harrier jets in the sky and helicopters and just people all around just, like, hunting.
He was still at large, too. Like, how could there not be, like, an even greater reaction from, like, armed forces when something like that happens, when someone takes out the whole police force, like, single-handedly, and is still at large, and just people going to school, like, no big deal. Like, they're still talking about, you know, what to feed their fucking dogs and shit. Like, literally, like, and okay, even after that, Shishigami, you know, starts randomly killing people with cell phones, with the people's smartphones. He created a huge panic, which, you know, seemed somewhat reasonable, like, reasonably portrayed, like, so semi-realistically, if that were to happen.
For a guy who can shoot people through cell phones, yes.
Yes. And then the next part of it, people were still going to school. After the aftermath of that, people were still going to school, and there was, like, maybe a few cops littered around here and there. Like, that should have created another crisis. That should have escalated things even more. But it's like, people are so brain dead to react to these things. Like, what's going on in Japan?
People are just trying to live their lives, man. You know, like, a guy shoots up 50 people in Las Vegas, and people still go to school.
Yeah, but that guy, you know, he got tracked down and taken care of. But this is, like, this is on a different level. This is, like...
Given the fact that Shishigami's, like, immortal and, you know, can't be killed. And
If that mass shooter took out, like, a whole police station by himself and was still at large... and then did another mass shooting the following day, everything would be shut down, I think, in, you know, the state of, like, California or something like that. So Like, I don't know. I don't think some of this is like realistically portrayed at all, and it just really boggles my
Well,
mind.
it begs the question: how realistic can you be in a story about a super robot child who has the robot ability to shoot people through cell phones?
It's obviously based somewhat on realism. Like they talk about, like, the Yakuza. Like it's not. Come on, come on. You just
I
come
can
on.
sort of understand it.
There's some realism. It's like this show is like basically like how you put someone in a realistic setting and how everything breaks down when someone has like superhuman robot powers, right? In a kind of sort of semi-realistic way. It's like sort of fantastical, but
Well, the one fantastical element is, of course, the robot superpowers, but then everything else is like more grounded and realistic.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. The show was at first, grounded in realism before supernatural robot powers threw in. But like I love the idea of like what creative uses you can do with these robot powers and like to influence society so much. Like when those kids were attacking those homeless guy.
And the scene where Inuyashiki uses his powers to like reveal their identities.
Yeah, and like socially destroy them on the internet, like socially shame them on the internet by doing so. And like what the possibilities of that kind of power can have in our like current environment with our current technology in our world. And I think that's one of the most interesting things about this show. Like taking it from that kind of perspective. But like this episode didn't feel that realistic at all. And
just in how people reacted, or the fact that he was able to like mass murder people.
Just the fact that how society, the media, everyone reacted to Shishigami's actions. I mean, sure, I could see like people would have like random ass fan clubs of him for some reason.
Well, yeah, because like people like idolize serial killers like Charles Manson and whatnot. And, that does feel believable.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that much at all. But like, and maybe there'd be some people trying to like rebel against like the strict curfews of like everyone stay inside, don't use your cell phones or anything. There'd be some people rebelling here and there, but like school would be fucking closed. Okay? I'm telling you, school would be fucking closed.
Most people would not go to work, although they did deal with it a little bit where people were like, terrified about it and whatnot. And the places. So well, here's the big thing though. What did you think of Shishigami's 9/11 times 1,000?
Oh God. That end of the show. I mean, that ended the episode in very dramatic fashion. I did not see that coming. I thought he was going to use the cell phones again, but he surprised me, and oh my God, that's just like that's kind of so terrifyingly messed up, and just like bring a whole jumbo jet plane down in the middle of Japan. That is so outrageous.
Just now, like even planes are weapons to him. He's operating on a even larger, more messed up scale than before. And they have the nice little scene with like the woman on the plane. You were afraid of like, oh God, they're gonna shoot the baby through the cell phone.
Yeah.
They're gonna shoot the baby through the cell phone. And then the guy, God, I love hearing American and Japanese. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Remember?
Yeah, that was actually pretty good American voiceover.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the better ones. It's still really jarring though when you're like expecting subtitles.
Yeah. Usually the voiceover is kind of like, or like the American voices are just like bad, and like because like Japanese speaking people like probably don't understand like what is what should be like a good American voice actor. Like they'll always pick like really bad ones a lot of the time.
It is always hilarious and jarring to hear like English, but yeah, it was like as good as you could expect. Although it's still jarring to like hear it come in randomly.
Oh, so there's one thing I wanted to get your opinion on. What do you think of like the whole thing with like the reason why Choco wasn't affected by
Oh, well, because
the smartphone
originally
thing?
he thought he was a friend, and he wasn't in the Shinjuku area, and that was where Shishigami was targeting. He was, like, specifically in that area. So, and he also wasn't looking for him. I think your theory was that, right, that he was a friend, and then later on he says, oh, he's not a friend anymore.
But he blocked his cell phone, so he couldn't call him.
So maybe that's another reason. Well, I wanted to know is what do you think about you were wondering last time about the theory about whether or not the girl was alive, and now I think you got a conclusive answer.
Oh yeah, she's dead now. That's all in his mind.
Yeah, yeah, he's got this little fucked up simulation, and she's in there where she's like perpetually trapped.
Yeah, it's
like
it's kind of it is pretty sad. You can sort of see like Shishigami like slowly breaking down mentally, like in his like fantasy version of his girlfriend, like she's like rejecting him because now he's like doing the mass killings again and stuff, and
he's like, oh, once I kill everyone in Japan, we can go to Hawaii or France, anywhere you want.
It's just yeah. It's I mean it does build up Shishigami's character a lot. Like I mean, I think they did a really great job of like portraying Shishigami in this anime. Like to make us like really
what, relate with him or despise him or
just
make him vaguely sympathetic or
vaguely sympathetic and like
also kind of creepy,
despise him. It's like I think they built his character really well. In this show.
Yeah, like definitely. Like I feel like he gets the lion's share versus Inuyashiki, who's just sort of like the feeble old man who's fun to see. But obviously, the the Gantz guy likes writing Shishigami much better.
yeah, it looks like it.
He seems like he has more fun with him, like murdering the police and going around killing internet trolls and then murdering the mass media and killing people.
It's almost like he's saying something, through his manga. Is like, yeah, I really fucking hate smartphones, and like I really hate internet trolls, and I really hate the Yakuza. I wish there was just some super robot that would kill all those people who do that stuff.
That's an interesting theory. And maybe a very apt one. It may be 100% right on the money.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if like we could get like some kind of comment about that at some point from this mangaka. I don't know how to do that.
Maybe in an interview or a volume he'd talk about it somewhere out there. I haven't seen it. It might be out there. I would love to hear like his commentary. The one thing I do know is that the manga didn't sell well, so he ended it earlier than he originally anticipated. But who knows? Maybe the anime and the live-action movie will make it worth his while.
Yeah, well, I think overall this anime is like, it's really impressed me. Just this last episode though was really, really aggravating of like how unrealistic it was in terms of.
You didn't feel that there was a proper escalation for him murdering all the police with his super laser beams?
Yeah. I just felt like it was really stupid. But I still enjoyed this episode. Towards the end, especially like Shishigami, like he's crashing a plane down, like shit's gonna go down between him and Inuyashiki like soon. It's got to happen soon.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Inuyashiki is getting fucking pissed. He's getting super pissed. He needs to stop Shishigami right now. This shit can't stop. It can't keep going.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a 12-episode series. I don't see it going any longer than that. They've covered like 3/4 of the manga right now, and obviously, the final confrontation is going to be like him and Shishigami, and that's where the series, obviously, kind of like reaches its conclusion.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if it sold better and he wanted more to expand it, he'd like introduce more robot people with different powers, or maybe reintroduce the aliens that are making more robot people or something.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, he doesn't do that. Which, in some ways kind of worked well in the series' advantage. It's probably better that, we have this concise story that's as a beginning, a middle, and an end. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't, drag out like some of the Gantz parts did towards the end, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to the ratings. What would you rate this episode?
Yeah, this weighing all the bad with the good of this episode. I'd have to give it a 7. Yeah.
I'd go for an 8. I thought it was solid, and I liked the end, and I liked the element of the tortured girlfriend in the AI state. But I could see why you'd give it a 7.
Yeah, there was that really bad part, and then the really great climactic ending of this episode, and building up Shishigami's character, with his sociopathicness and his digital virtual reality girlfriend. This is also really cool and interesting stuff. And also, obviously the mass killings and how he does it, just wow, fucking
I'm
technology.
gonna kill 100 people a day, and then I'm gonna kill 1,000, and and all he has to do is just stand on a roof.
Yeah.
And no
Fucked
one
up.
can stop him. But we'll see. We're going to get our big triumphant moment soonish. The big confrontation is coming, and I can't wait to see it animated. Hopefully it'll be amazing. So I think that finishes up all of our thoughts on this week's episode, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. So thank you for hanging out with us. Give us comments. Give us likes. Give us subscriptions. We always like that. And check out T-Blocks. Maybe they have an Inuyashiki t-shirt. Maybe you can be a super edgelord and have a Shishigami t-shirt. I don't think the character's gonna be that popular, but
No, probably not at all.
Probably not. But you can be Inuyashiki and wear an Inuyashiki t-shirt and be like, old men superheroes are the best. He's almost as good as the old man from Up. I loved Up. Up was great.
Okay.
There was a bunch of people who had t-shirts that said action hero, and they had a picture of the old guy from Up, and that was before the movie came out. So maybe you could have an Inuyashiki t-shirt like that.
Okay.
Probably not. But, maybe they have an Inuyashiki t-shirt, and you should demand it and get it. 10% off T-Blocks! Yeah, woo-wee! Alright, so thanks for hanging out with me and Goro, and, as always, it's a pleasure. And remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it. Do you like clothes but hate shopping? Then T-Blocks is the subscription service for you. But I know what you're thinking. But Lobster, how is that any different than Loot Crate or the other subscription services? Well, T-Blocks sends you t-shirts, which is clothing, which is actually useful, unlike the useless swag junk that Loot Crate keeps peddling on gullible schmucks. And this isn't just knockoff brand crap. T-Blocks hooks you up with licensed shirts for all the stuff you love, because you need clothes. How else are you going to keep your puny human man flesh protected from the elements? T-shirts are useful for any occasion. Wear them, give them to friends, give them to enemies, knit them together, make a quilt. T-shirts are life. And you know the best part? It'll only cost you $6.99. That's right, you can get 12 shirts sent to you for once a month for only $6.99. And you know what? If ultra cheap licensed goods are too basic for you, then there's also the Community T-Block set, which features original designs from the best up-and-coming artists, so you can keep that hipster street cred. But I'm here to save you even more money! Use the code LOBSTERTBX at checkout and you'll save 10% on any order. Be a t-shirt wearing god amongst mortals. Use the power of the most expensive seafood to get you the cheapest t-shirts now!